Well, good evening, everyone. Futures Barizio here. It is about 7:30 on Thursday, Feb 20th. Hope everybody's had a great day. And just figured I'd drop in here, maybe try to do a little live stream, or if not, like I said, just a wrap up to today's action and a quick look ahead for Friday. Um, So, as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, leave questions or comments if you're watching it afterwards. If you happen to join the live stream, you have any questions, leave them in the chat. I am going to try to monitor. I got a lot of windows open here on my other monitor, so I'm trying to just watch everything here. Um, so we will just jump right in. I did make one earlier today around midday or late morning. I guess it was more like late morning today. Um, just kind of what was going on and talked about a little tweak to the 10 simple moving average strategy if you're using it on a higher time frame, so you can go back and watch that. And so tonight we'll just focus mostly on just where the markets are at, and we'll just go from there. Okay. All right, so we'll start in futures since that's where the chart is sitting. And so I was talking about the DAX today. We did have, like I had mentioned, this is the hourly chart of the March DAX. You see we had this big move down, certainly the biggest move this has seen in a long time. And go to the 4-hour chart and see these big candles from a day or two ago. Okay, and I did take a trade today. You can see it here. I was in this, I think, when I made the video early. So this was my entry. Because basically what we have here is a downtrend. We had this corrective move during the overnight last night. I did jump into this short during the overnight. Got stopped out of it right here. Just got in way too soon. Shouldn't have done that. But anyways, I re-entered here today. So when the market came up here and we broke this trend line, and also the other thing to notice is that we're on the other side of the 10 period moving average, which is right here. And so this is anywhere in here is good to start looking for resumption of the downtrend. And so we got that right here on this candle. We broke the not only the moving average, which is running right along the trend line here. It's a little hard to see it. I'll zoom in here. Here's the trend line in the red, and then the orange is the 10 period simple moving average. So as soon as we broke that, you see on this candle I entered short. All right, and I ended up getting out down here. Basically we broke through here, started coming back, and I closed the trade right there. Actually, I had a trailing stop that got hit. So that was my DAX trade for the day, which at least made up for this one right here for sure. So that was good. Now, as far as what's going to happen, what I think might happen next, if we zoom back out, I was mentioning earlier that this zone right here is kind of a 1-hour zone, because if you can see this pullback right here, this basically one candle pullback, but you don't really see it on the 4-hour. So I didn't really consider this to be a super valid zone. It looks like it's probably not going to hold, which is what I had suspected when I made the video earlier. I drew these arrows on here. So I'm actually going to take this off, and it'll actually be a little easier to see now. So you can see that we are still trading below the moving average. So even though it looks like price wants to come down right now, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to just let this play. Probably, well, what I'm hoping we'll see during the overnight is something like this, where the price just kind of drifts a little higher up above the moving average, and then maybe during the London session or early session tomorrow we get another push down. And I do think, and let me just take the trade here to get rid of some of this stuff. So I do think that this level down here is a more substantial level. You can see that on the 4-hour chart right here. Okay, so I do think this is a more substantial level. So I would like to see this again pull back over the moving average, and then look for a potential short setup in here, and this would be a good target. back to this 4-hour zone down in here. Okay, so that's the DAX. So at least to here, I'm kind of maintaining a bearish bias. If we get through here, then you can kind of see, just looking at the 10-period SMA, where there's some good target areas. There's another one here, although this one's not particularly strong. There's not a lot of super bullish momentum out here, but there's an area here, and then of course we get back down into this area here. But this is the next area of interest, so we'll see what happens if we get some correction during the overnight and a possible downside move back down towards this zone. All right, so that's the DAX. Let's see, on copper, I was mentioning earlier that I had a short on here, that actually a long, that I wasn't really liking. I did end up closing it for a small loss, so I'm out of that now. I closed it right after I made that video today. And the reason why I took it is on the 4-hour chart, we have price come down into this 4-hour zone, and we started pulling out of here, and so I entered, I think, somewhere around here. But price only went up a little bit and then started coming back down. I didn't want it to hit my stop loss, so we'll see what happens with this. Whether this turns out to be a lower high and we break through here, or whether we get another little pullback and then a move higher. But a little bit of potential transition time here for copper, and so we'll have to see what this does, if we push back up on this uptrend, or whether we kind of just push up here and then break down through this zone, and in which case, we should definitely go lower. But right now it's just kind of chopping around, so we'll just leave this alone right now. Okay, on to natural gas. So I did take a short on natural gas there. You can see it right here. We'll jump down a little bit, lower time frame. All right, so basically where I took it off of this moving average. So basically we were in this downtrend, clearly heading down. I was targeting this zone for a bounce, and so which is a 4-hour zone, and actually it's not even a 4-hour. On the 4-hour chart we can't see it. This is kind of like the DAX. This is more like a 1-hour zone. But so you can see price came down here. We put in these two small doji candles when it was hitting the top of this rectangle, so it was having a hard time getting through here. So as soon as I started seeing this bull candle form here, I just got out. So that was my trade today on natural gas. Certainly not as big as the ones we took the last couple of days, but still profitable. And so where are we going from here? Well, again, if we look at the 4-hour, really the next big 4-hour zone is way down here. Okay, so it's way down here. So we'll have to see what happens during the overnight, if we get another pullback here and a potential move back down. If this does come down again, it's probably going to break right through this zone, okay, because it's already kind of tested it and bounced. If it comes down here again, I fully expect it'll just break right through here, and in which case this area down here, as I mentioned, would be kind of the next target, which this is our 4-hour zone down here, at least to about to this area. So let's see what happens during the overnight. If we get some bearish price action during the early session tomorrow to push us back below this moving average, then I would consider taking a short position. But if we continue to push higher, especially if we take out this area here, then probably means we're going to go back higher. So we're in kind of a interesting spot right now. Okay. So I will just kind of make a judgment on that tomorrow to see if there's any trade. If not, that's fine. I had 3 solid trades on natural gas this week. So, I was pretty happy with that. So, all right. So that's NG. Okay. And then so that's it on futures. Right. So let's just jump over to Forex. So I'm actually in. So I added Euro dollar and Euro Aussie. I was saying earlier today. More just looking at these from a daily time frame, and like I said, I added the SMA to this chart, to this daily chart, and as I said earlier, I'm using a 5 period SMA on the daily chart. You can go back and watch that video I made earlier today for more details, but basically I think the 5 period provides a little better filter and entry because it's a little quicker than obviously using a 10 period on a daily chart, but the 10 would probably work fine too. And so assets like Euro Aussie and Euro Dollar, I'm mostly, like I said, just looking at these on the daily chart. Like I said, you can use the SMA strategy on really on any time frame, but if you want to use it on the daily, perfectly fine too. You're not going to get a lot of trades, but all you do is just kind of, like I said, just identify the trend. In this case, we're starting, it looks like starting an uptrend. And then every time it pulls back underneath the 5 period SMA, you just wait for bullish momentum to switch higher again in this case, and you jump in. And if you're using the daily for your first look for trend, then you can jump down to like a 15-minute and start looking for, that bullish price momentum, up. So in this case, you can see on the daily chart, I have this little rectangle which will be blown up as I step down. Here's that rectangle. So price was coming down. This was that bearish candle. And then as soon as we kind of shift and take out the last swing high, which would have been right here, so on that bearish candle, so anywhere from right here would have been a great entry, and all the way up. Okay, so that's Euro dollar, and we'll see if this continues higher. We have failed to make a new high here, so that's a little concerning. So we'll see what it does, but that's the type of planning on this that I would do. And then on Euro Aussie, kind of the opposite. It's a sell situation. We're in shorts here. Bearish order flow. We had price pull back. And then, like I said, you can go back and watch the video. I talked about how to find the entry here. Okay, so nothing's changed on that since earlier. The yen pairs are a little interesting. They've been obviously trending down. The yen has been pretty strong. But earlier today, we did kind of put in some higher lows and higher highs. And, so like on Euro Yen, we had price come down towards this rectangle. Then we came down again. Haven't hit it, failed to hit it. So is this right here a higher low on the daily chart? Now we're going to go higher. If we step down a little bit, we can see we came out of that zone and did try to push higher. So let's see. This is the Asian session, so I don't put a lot of weight into anything going on right now. But it'll be interesting to see whether we've hit lows here and we're going to turn higher, or whether this, again, is just another false bounce and we'll turn and make another move back lower again. The pound US dollar is just like the euro dollar. We had bullish price momentum today. I was in a trade on this. I closed it already on my funded account. But again, you can see on the daily chart, bullish price momentum. The last move we had below the moving average was right here. And then we had this bullish move up. So you could have looked for a bullish shift in momentum on a lower time frame somewhere in here to catch this move up. The one previous to that was down here. We had, higher lows being put in, higher highs. Price pulls back, and then start looking for bullish momentum on a shorter time frame in here to catch this really nice move up, which lasted for a week. So again, you can go back and watch the video. And again, you can do this on any time frame, but I'm just pointing out that if you don't want to be in front of the charts a lot and you just want to have kind of set and forget trades, you won't get a lot of them in the course of a week. But you can use these if you can identify trend, and you can use the moving average to help you identify pullback areas, kind of low, high value, low risk areas that you can target for entry, and then you can, just let those trades run. So So it's pretty obvious where you can find the spots to enter based on pullbacks in a downtrend over the moving average or in an uptrend below the moving average. Okay. Swiss yen, all the yen pairs are pretty much the same, right? They've all come down into some support levels. Here's the Swiss yen, so the question is, are we pulling out of this and going to go higher, or is this just kind of a dead cat bounce? We'll see tomorrow. Again, we have put in potentially a higher low right here. We did put in a new higher high. So let's see if we get continuation to the upside and these daily patterns bounce off of this major zone, follows through, and we get prices higher. But as I said earlier, until I see what this is going to do, whether we're going to break through this support area or turn higher, I'm certainly not going to take any more shorts right now on yen pairs until this plays out. But, we'll see. So, and the dollar yen is the same way, exactly the same. Here's the daily chart. We have one area here. We have this big area support. Price came down. Again, I'm not saying it's not going to push lower. We could wake up tomorrow and this could be smashed right through this rectangle or down inside of it. But at least for now, again, we've got some pretty bullish price action coming off these lows. But again, this is the Asian session. I don't put a lot of weight into this. We could easily see this roll over and go back down. And on this pair, really, as I said earlier, as long as price remains above, like this is a kind of a weak swing high right here, then I'm still bearish in this. It's just that, we are at a kind of a key level on the daily chart. And so you do have to be aware of that you at least will see a reaction off this area. It's just a matter of whether it's a false, corrective move or whether it's an actual reversal point. And we just don't know that yet. So, but I would just be very cautious shorting yen pairs any further until we get a feeling for what this is going to do. And if we break through these support levels, then great. Then I think there's a lot more downside potential. But just be cautious because, again, we're at major support and demand areas on these yen pairs, and there'll at least be a reaction. Although, again, it doesn't mean there'll be a reversal. So, all right. So, so that's kind of how things shook out for the day. Not much different than what I was looking at earlier. But I just wanted to update you on a couple of things. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'll try to make a video earlier tomorrow. I probably won't make an afternoon video tomorrow, A, because it's Friday, and B, because I have some family coming into town, to be honest. And so I probably will be tied up with them later in the day. I'll be done trading by then anyway, since it's Friday. But I'll try to at least make something earlier in the day, just to kind of bring you up to speed of what happened during the overnight and, whatever we're seeing at the time. And then we'll just let things roll for the rest of the day, especially since it's Friday. So, things tend to slow down pretty early on Fridays. So, all right. So anyways, guys, hope that was helpful. Again, questions, comments, leave them down below. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have a great night. Hope it was helpful, and look forward